Let's have a little chat. Agreed. Time for a change of scenery. So, you wanted to tell me something? To tell you the truth, I feel the same. Working to change this country, I feel like I've been sailing treacherous waters. To the point that I didn't know if it was fair to make you do this with me. But if I'm being honest, I want you with me on this journey. Every step of the way. In times like these, who knows how long we'll have together. But I want to be there, by your side, for every moment we have. No problem. I'm always happy to talk. I just posted a letter to my older sister. Have I ever told you about her? When I was a kid, I used to get bullied a lot for wetting the bed. It was always my sister who stood up for me. I'm forever grateful to her for helping me stop that bad habit. Our mother died young, so it was really my sister who raised me. What's your family like? Oh, you too, huh? Seems we both had good people around us. Well, it's our heart that tells us who our family is. Who cares if you're really related by blood? Do you remember Izo Okada? We share no blood ties, but there are times he's felt like my own counterpart. I know he sometimes takes things too far. But to me, he's one of the good guys. From here on out, you're going to be meeting all sorts of people. You're bound to get close to some of them. And before you know it, family. Who knows? Maybe it'll even happen to you and me. This seems like a good place to talk. Truth is, I've been getting a lot of cold looks from people lately. I guess I see why. We do have connections with both the anti and pro-shogunate sides. But how can we forge a new Japan if we're bound by social obligation? We're free agents, Ronin, so we need to act like it. They can call me shameless all they want. I've only ever done what I thought was right. Your ability to say these things with such composure is quite something. It's not easy to shed social ties for ambition's sake. I admire that about you. I really do. It doesn't come easy to me for fear of others' judgment. But you really don't seem concerned in the slightest. You're like a free bird in a big blue sky. So I'm going to keep moving forward, even if people do talk behind my back. Maybe one day I'll be able to take off and fly up there with you. No, wait. If you're a bird, then I get to be a dragon. You'll see me soaring ahead of you one day, I promise. I was thinking of going to the bathhouse, but maybe I'll give it a miss for today. I don't really like that place, to be honest. Truth is, I've got a hairy back. It looks like a horse's mane. That's why my name is written with the character for horse. I've always hated other people seeing my back. Which is why I can't stand it when people stare at me in the bathhouse. But hey, what can I do? Wait, really? Then I'll do it. I can't run away forever. And who knows? Maybe we could scrub each other's backs, huh? You don't seriously mean that, do you? No. Forget it. I can't show you my back. Not today. I know. We can face each other, and you can wash my chest. That I'll be happy to show you. Huh? Ha! This is actually starting to sound fun. Let's make plans to go soon. I was just thinking I'd ask you out for a drink. We should spend some time with just the two of us, now and then. All the more now that we're closer than ever. I know a good place nearby. Follow me. I told you about my big sister, right? Well, I got a letter from her the other day. She just separated from her husband. I always thought they were a perfect match, but I guess love is complicated. I got fairly close to Lady Sana and Oryo, but neither of those relationships really worked out. Huh? Sorry, I wasn't thinking. I apologize. I did want to make you a little jealous, it's true. Once, I would have described you as a close friend. But now, it feels like we have a deeper connection. You're the only one I feel this way about. It was never like this with anyone else. I know these feelings aren't going to change. Not now. Not after we've reformed our nation. I want to be with you. Always. I have no intention of letting you go tonight. Will you stay with me? Until the morning. I know you don't like to let anything tie you down. But I just can't help wanting you. All to myself. If we could only hold one another long enough that your scent would also be mine. Well, I've never seen you look so sweet before. The more I see of you, the more I like you.
What do you want? What an honor to receive an invitation from you. Of course, I'll go with you. This will do, won't it? So what did you want to talk about? Whoa. What are you saying? I knew you were hard to predict, but this is wild. Seems like even I get a little flustered with such an ambush. But if you're going to play it straight with me, I will do the same courtesy. I love you too, and I don't want to give you up to anyone else. So be mine, and mine alone. Now? Sure, not a problem. I was just thinking I've had my fill of idling about in gambling dens. And, I wasn't in the mood for the pleasure district either. Good thing you came along, because I feel like a good conversation. Kusaka often leaves the practices swordsmanship or the like, and gets utterly consumed by it. But I need to break up the monotony, keep things varied. Even in battle, I'm there, wishing I could noodle the shamisen. Why don't you give it a go? Fighting isn't everything. We'll have more to talk about when you understand the finer things. Just give it a try, if you want to. Don't worry about playing well. You will understand in due course if you try. And with stuff like this, you can learn the theory. But that won't communicate the joy of playing. Don't overthink it. Just go with your gut and let your fingers work. That'll lead you in the right direction. The arts of combat and performance have much in common. You will understand once you try. If you like to learn, I'll be glad to teach you. Even if it's just a once. I would love to hear what kind of melody you make. Huh. To think you would come to me by your own accord. Well then, there are some things you don't want to mention here, right? I don't mind going outside. Let's go someplace quiet, where there are no prying eyes. Follow me. Did you think I hadn't noticed? Where you been running about with Sakamoto of late? There's no way that wouldn't get back to me. Though it seems Kusaka hasn't noticed anything. I don't know what you're thinking. We may have walked together in Yokohama, but I guess I really don't know you. But look, just because you've wandered down the wrong path, doesn't mean I'll cut things off right now. I mean, I could do that if I wanted, but then my life would be just that little bit less intriguing, wouldn't it? I see. In that case, once I've done what I have to do, perhaps I'll come looking for you. Anyway, you must have your own reasons to do what you do. I've known from the start when we met in Yokohama that your goals were different from ours. I will walk my own path, and you will walk yours. If those paths should cross again, let's celebrate over a drink. Your treat, of course. You must have noticed by now. It's better if you keep your distance. I might be contagious. I wanted to keep it a secret if I could, but realized it would have been impossible. You saw me about to fall after all. And anyway, I don't know how long I can keep on fighting like this. Not even the strongest body is free from the threat of disease. Don't you think you should get going before I pass it on to you? Funny. But it's no laughing matter. I wouldn't forgive myself if I drag you to the grave with me. You're an odd duck. There's no way I would ever risk my neck for the sake of companionship. More importantly, this is not the time for either of us to die. There's still so much left to do. It's down to us to shape this dull and 3D world into something better and brighter. And if the future is short, then I'll live to the fullest while I can. If I want to burn bright, like a firework, I can't stop now. I'm not going quietly. If you want to come along for the ride, I won't stop you. I will show you a better world. though this path is not an easy one to walk. Great timing. I was about to head over to see you. There are better places to hold a little rendezvous, eh? Let's get out of here. Music to my ears. I know a little place. I will show you the way. I'd kill the cawing crows throughout the world to seek repose in peace with the master of my heart. That's the lyrics of the Dotoitsu. Have you heard it before? It's often sung along to the shamisen. It's quite popular in the pleasure district. Not that I've been there, since you and I made our arrangement, of course. It's about killing all the crows that would herald the dawn, to carry on with the enjoyment of one's beloved. Uninterrupted. You understand what I'm getting at, don't you? Well, that's a stroke of luck. Music to my ears, in fact. So, if you're wondering why I brought you here, it's because this place offers lodging to their guests. For two lovers, this is only natural, don't you think? You are not going back tonight. I hope you are prepared for some decadently peaceful repose.
I'm listening. Of course, that's fine by me. It's not often you extend an invitation like this. Right. What was it you wanted to talk about? Well, I'm a little taken aback, but I've been thinking the exact same thing. I was trying to work out the best way to approach the subject myself, but you've beaten me to the punch. I'm no match for you. In other words, I accept. Let me be by your side, now and forever. Good idea. I have more than a few things I'd like to sound out too. Since the banquet, we've maintained good terms with the Satsuma. That display we put on for them at the end really seems to have done the trick. Indeed I am. Again, it strikes me how fortunate I've been to have you on my side. Shinsaku, Genzui's bunch, the Choshu men, the Ryoma, Nakaoka, and you. At first I was all fired up, thinking I was leading my men, supporting my comrades. But it was the other way around. I've only come this far, thanks to them. I admit, I'm a little jealous of you from time to time. You're strong. You forge your own path through life. Permit me a single question, if you would. You got involved with us only because you were chasing after that samurai, as I recall. What will you do once you've accomplished your goal? What I mean to say is, will you stay with me, even after I have served my purpose? Me too. I'd love to talk the night away with you. Perhaps without the drinks next time, eh? Sorry for the odd question, but I just can't bear the thought of losing yet another person. So dear to me. Still, I wonder if I really deserve you. I've done nothing but accept your help over and over again ever since we met. I want to be someone who can be there for you too. Until I am worthy, I hope you will stand by my side.
What can I do for you? All right. So, what did you want to talk about? To hear that you feel the same way makes me so happy. Ever since my husband died, you've given me your faith and support. I'm more grateful than words can express. It will be my honor and pleasure to walk hand in hand with you, now and for many years to come. Do you have a moment? There's something I want to show you, and only you. There are too many eyes here. Would you please come with me? Thank you. Come on, let's go. This is what I wanted you to see. Correspondence between my brother and my husband. Quite a lot, isn't there? In these letters, they shared their hopes for the country's future. They are a legacy of my loved ones. My prized treasures. The reason I show their letters to you is because I want you to know them better. They were misunderstood by the masses, regarded as extremists and a danger to society. But the truth is, they cared deeply about the people of Japan. They were gentle souls, through and through. Like you. You're the kindest, most caring person I know. That's why I want to be of use to you. I couldn't bear to lose anyone else dear to me. So please, let me be there for you. Now, and for the trials ahead.
What did you want to say? I'd like to hear it. This seems as good a spot as any. So, what did you want to say? I'm sorry. I felt the same for a while, yet could never muster up the courage to be the first to say so. I confess, I'm rather new to this kind of thing. Don't know if I can be a good enough partner for you. But the idea of making you happy fills me with joy. Let's make this last forever. I was just thinking, I'd like to thank you. I owe you for the sword practice the other day. I ended up just talking about Kondo and the others last time, and missed my chance to ask about you. Is there anyone special in your life? Someone who makes you want to fight harder for their sake. Really? Well, that's very flattering. You and I aren't so different, it seems. The Shinsengumi will continue to crack down on the Shogun's enemies. Which likely means facing more master swordsmen like Kawakami. If you draw strength from the memories of those you treasure, there's nothing to fear. No battle will prove too tough. And honestly, those are the moments you feel the most alive. I can't get enough of it. The only thing that truly frightens me is the thought when the day comes that I won't be able to fight anymore. Ah, sorry. You're a good listener. I've rambled on far too long without realizing. I have to go and take care of a little something. Care to lend a hand? Good. Then follow me. Do you remember the man who I couldn't save when we went to procure that medicine? That's his house over there. I fear that if I were to visit, it would cause his wife and children terrible distress. So this is as far as I've ever ventured. But I need to know how they're doing. So sometimes I come by to take a look. I feel like I've done something that can never be undone. If I hadn't ignored my illness for so long, this never would have. Now that I've been granted more time, all I can do is continue to wield my sword to help Kondo and everyone else. If we manage to keep the peace in Kyoto, this family can live in safety. If he hadn't gone to all that trouble to seek out that medicine, my fighting days would be well and truly behind me. And I owe a lot to you, of course. I'll have to thank him when I see him in the next life. But you, on the other hand, you, I can thank now. I'm truly grateful for all you've done to support me. Now, how might I repay such a debt? Since you're the one who granted me this life, it is yours to do with as you see fit. How about it? Ah, I was just wondering what to do with myself. I'm glad you came along. The first unit were all here just now. They set off for the pleasure district together. That crowd loved nothing more than the entertainment of geisha. I, however... Well, I'm not the only soldier who doesn't enjoy the pleasure district, but the rest of them prefer to indulge in the company of those closer to home. I don't belong to either group. To be honest, with most people I feel like I'm speaking a different language. No, it's not my intention to abstain per se. I've never had much desire in that regard. I would say I'm perfectly content to converse with you, as we're doing now. I have no desire for anything further. Though I suppose that would only amount to ordinary friendship. I've watched as my comrades find someone to treasure. Perhaps this will be true of us in time. That eventually leads to lying together. Because love turns to passion. Oh, what's that face for? Did I say something wrong? I've been thinking, I'd like to spend some time, just the two of us, where nobody can interrupt. Why don't you take me to your place? Then lead the way. Do you remember the conversation we had recently? It keeps on going round in my mind, right in the middle of training. Hishikata could see I was distracted and asked me about it. I found I could not hide it, so I told him of our relationship. He was happy for me. He said I've grown. I doubt he'd have been so forgiving with the others. He's always seen me as something of a younger brother, you see? But then he told me that it wouldn't do for things between us to be left so undefined. He said I was a full-grown man who needed to conduct suitably adult relationships. Yes, let's. Sorry. It's just, I was hoping you'd say that. Before we fell for each other, I never even imagined myself doing something like this. But now that I'm experiencing it, it's truly invigorating. But in a way unlike the thrill of life or death combat. I had expected to find this kind of thing difficult, but with you as my partner, that's simply not the case. Let me be certain. You were the right choice for a lover. Now I know that I too have these desires. Now I have another reason to live on. That's your fault, you know?
If you have business, then let's hear it. Very well. Let us go. So, what do you wish to tell me? Those words. Do you speak them in full awareness of their implications? To be with me is to take on even more burdens than you already bear. Knowing this, do you still wish it? If this is a dream, then may I never wake up. Nothing would make me happier than to spend my life with you. Well now, it seems we have like minds. I was just thinking of asking you the very same. Since saying that I wanted to speak with you, we haven't had the chance. You remember that time, I trust. It wasn't my intention to pry into your past then. But at the very least, I thought I could get a name. You're not given to conversation, it seems. Careful with the clumsy jokes now, especially if you're not good with words. This, I say as someone who was once like you. I spoke in Satsuma dialect, you see, and it made me self-conscious. Be it our position, our birth, or our hearts. No matter how we try to behave, there's always something binding us. you should understand this well enough. Now, I won't ask you further about your origins. But am I correct in assuming you've never had a cat or a dog? Delightful creatures both. Adorable and sweet. They snuggle up to you without asking complicated questions. I see. If you have the chance, you should try caring for one. It might just be the cure for your ineloquence. I'm reminded of the darling chin I used to have. With that, I didn't have to let him go. But that's enough about me. It's your turn to talk about yourself for a change. Yes, that's a fine idea. It might help me feel better. Let's take a little walk. Come with me. The disgrace of it all. I still can't believe that the villain would turn out to be someone from Satsuma. Right now, Japan is faced with an unprecedented crisis. Now, most of all, we must join hands and stand together in common cause. We can't hope to survive if we fight among ourselves like this. Like me, Nakamura wants to change Japan for the better. We merely envision different ways of achieving that goal. As someone who shares the same homeland, I want to believe this. I consider it my mission to bring disparate factions together. But no matter what I do, how much I give, it isn't enough. I can't reach them. So not a word out of you after all. When you stand there in that unflappable way, I feel foolish for letting my frustrations get the better of me. Times like this, it's best to take your mind off your troubles by eating. Tell me, do you like sweets? Excellent. Well, we really have like minds, you and I. I thought I'd make simmered sweet potato, you see? And I like to treat you by way of an apology for making you listen to my grumbling. I was hoping you might come. Will you go for a little walk with me? Good. Let's head outside. I must say, when I first met you, I would never have imagined that you'd end up making simmered sweet potato for me. I truly enjoyed that. If I might be finicky though, I must say, I prefer it a little sweeter. There's a rather fond memory that I have of the dish. It was when I first arrived in Edo. Though I had purpose, I was still but a girl. I dearly missed the seas and mountains of Satsuma, and was the picture of misery. Taking pity, my lord husband had simmered sweet potato made for me. It was so good it moved me to tears. And to this day, I can't forget that luscious flavor. Not only are you not jealous, you're supportive. That's part of why I love you, I suppose. The days I spent with my husband are my precious memories. But memories are all they are. Our days together are what matter most now. When the weight of my mission felt too heavy to bear, the warmth of your hands gave me the strength to carry on. I want you beside me, now and all the years to come. This time, I want to be with the one that I love until I breathe my last. When both our faces are riddled with wrinkles, I trust you'll have improved your cooking skills a little. I shall go to bed tonight, imagining that day.
You have business with me? That's fine by me. We should be able to talk here. What is it you wanted to discuss? There's nothing more worthy of my love and adoration than Japan. This I had believed with all my heart. And then I met you. I love you too. And I can't bear to think of a world without you. While a far cry from the dignified customs of this country, there's something to be said for bold declarations. By all means. I feel we can at last speak freely. Thank you for your help at Kaneji Temple. Had you not trusted me then, I doubt we could have stopped the Sekihotai. As a token of my sincere appreciation, allow me to have you over for tea. Oh, but first I must tidy my quarters. No, it really isn't fit for entertaining guests, I assure you. Indeed, there is hardly room to sit down for tea. Besides, I would like you to properly admire some of the souvenirs and curios I've collected since my coming here. This country has a tremendous hold on me. Every object seems imbued with a spirit, as if it were a living artifact. It has a sacred soul, something the West has forsaken in its forward march. Truly, it is what makes Japan a land of dreams. Ah, pardon me. I fear that I have sucked up all the air. A sure sign of the comfort I feel in your presence, no doubt. I do. I feel that there is no end to its charms. Perhaps other foreigners will one day share my sentiments. Let's continue our conversation later at my place, shall we? I will show you my collection then. I am rather looking forward to it. Who would have imagined I would ever be talking with you like this? Ah, just the person I wanted to see. Care for a stroll? It would be nice to chat with you a while. Splendid. Let us be off then. We've walked a great deal today, haven't we? Ah, look at where we are. You know, there's an old story connected to this place. It's said that some 900 years ago, there lived a provincial magnate who dared to throw the entire Bando region into chaos. Seeking to take the throne, he staged an uprising against the Emperor. Naturally, he was beheaded for his crime. But can you guess what happened next? He actually came to have a shrine built in his honor. Imagine, a man who'd thrown his country into chaos became one of its guardian deities. In any event, the name of that magnate was Taira no Masakado. His is an ironic tale, though full of poetic fancy. I wouldn't call him an idol so much as an inspiration. For like him, I am determined to atone for my sins by protecting this land. My dalliance with the Demon Claw Samurai is over. Now that you are by my side, I need not fear straying from the righteous path. But it seems I've soured the mood somewhat. Allow me to lighten things up with a different sort of anecdote. This shrine here is also dedicated to a god who tends to relationships. In fact, I myself have offered up a prayer before it. It was, in all truth, right before I met you. Quite the coincidence, wouldn't you say? Indeed. Our bond is doubtless a special one. And so, I vow to the god enshrined here to cherish and stand by you, always.
Has something happened? Of course. Let's go. So, what did you want to talk about? What? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to... It's just... You took me by surprise. When I decided to give up on a life with Ryoma, I had resigned myself to being alone for the rest of my days. But to hear you say that... I couldn't be happier. I love you, too. And I'd be honored to be at your side. Remember what I said to you in Yoshiwara? I told you that I wanted to look clearly at Ryoma, accepting who he is now. Since then, I've been watching him. From afar, of course. Lest the sight of me scare him away. He's really quite the man about town, isn't he? Always making friends, trusted by all. I can't help but wonder, what virtue do I possess that might make me worthy of him? I've given this a lot of thought, but have yet to come up with an answer. So I wonder if I might have better luck asking you, seeing as you two are so close. Tell me, what is my greatest virtue? I must know. Is there anything you find special about me? What's gotten into you? You're acting like we're engaged or something. Anyway, you're saying I'll need to focus on more than martial arts to make myself worthy of Ryoma, right? Your words have inspired me to accentuate my strong points. Thank you. Ever since our visit to Princess Atsuko's chamber, I've been trying to figure out how I might settle the score between us. You have a strange way of fighting. It appears to be rough and reckless, yet full of cunning deception. Clearly, you play by different rules. That played on my mind and slowed me down. Truly, I've never faced anybody like you. And here I was, thinking that I had grown stronger. You're right. Dwelling on past failures won't get me anywhere. I can see that you two are growing stronger every day. And while I hate to lose, I'm glad to know we can both grow stronger together. Besides, I fully intend for our friendly rivalry to continue. May we always regard each other as equals. Together forever? Like till death do us part? So... Oh dear, what am I keeping you here for? You must be terribly busy. Let's call it a day for now. Till next time! I was hoping you'd drop by. Are you free? I was wondering if you would like to go for a walk together. That's great. Let's get going then. You know, I usually only see you at the dojo, so walking with you like this feels oddly refreshing. Of course, we've also been to Yoshiwara and Edo Castle together, but those weren't exactly ideal circumstances. Anyway, I hope that we can go out like this more often. Maybe even admire the cherry blossoms in the spring? Imagine, you and me beneath a sea of pink blossoms. I'm sure we'd enjoy ourselves very much. Right? Me too. We could even pack some lunch. Though I'll need to practice my skills in the kitchen. Oh, and... I may not know all that is going on in the world, but I know there are important things you must do for this country. And that you will leave sooner than I'd like you to. And while I'm not telling you that I want you to stay, promise you'll think of me when the time comes, won't you? Even if it's only to say a word of farewell. I'll hold on to that word until you return. I see. And here I was thinking you'd stay around a little longer. Moreover, I still haven't beaten you in a fight. Don't think I've let you off the hook. Anyways, I won't lose faith that you'll return someday. I'll be waiting for you.
Thank you for coming. Oh, what a surprise. Very well. Let us take a stroll. Do I sense you have something to tell me? What? Oh, excuse me. I am rather at a loss for words. For though I have heard those words from many others, to hear them from your lips, from someone so special to me, is truly wonderful. I love you too. And I promise to tend you with care forevermore.
I am delighted you so frequently make time to see me. We live in a disquieting world of late. I pray you are not getting yourself involved in anything too dangerous. I thought so. It is crass of me to speak of the outside world. It is just that I spend all my days within the confines of the district. I sometimes dream of being able to leave. Of watching the sun as it sets behind the mountains. Unhurried. Alone. The wisps of cloud that linger over peaks lit by sunset's glow are identical in shade to the sleeves of my mourning robes. From the tale of Genji. Lovely, is it not? Yes, it is. Usugumo, wisps of cloud. My name was derived from that poem, you know. And there is another reason the name is important to me. Perhaps, if we get to know one another better, I might let you in on the secret. I suppose you will just have to keep coming to see me if you want to know more. I was just thinking how dearly I would like to talk to you. Let us forget about the cold, harsh world. For now, all we need is you and me. Would you be interested in watching me dance? You cannot say such things. Oh, I completely forgot. The shamisen that accompanies my dancing is broken. I cannot dance after all. I have been meaning to commission a new one, but I'm in need of a craftsman with the requisite skill. One also requires the finest quality of skins in order to make an exemplary shamisen. As for the silk threads needed for its strings, why, I suppose I could disrobe this minute and secure some threads from my garments. Just my little joke. Oh? You do not seem to be very amused. You know, if you were any other customer, our time together would be over already. But whenever I am with you, there is so much more I want to do. I wonder why that is. I have so looked forward to talking with you like this again. Indeed, I have never known a joy like our being together. Yet, all I can do is wait. In truth, sometimes I cannot help but wonder what I would do if you were to stop visiting me. But perhaps if I carried some proof of your love with me, my mind would not be prone to such weakness. If only that were enough to satisfy my insatiable yearning. Alas, the waiting is simply too hard to bear. But if you will continue to help me find my beloved cats, I may choose to view that as a testament to your affection. Though I am not sure I believe you would feel the same way if I were to ever leave Yoshiwara. Still, should that day come, I hope you know I am all yours. Mind, body,
and soul. Do you remember the poem I shared with you? The one my name was derived from? The wisps of cloud that linger over peaks lit by sunset's glow are identical in shade to the sleeves of my mourning robes. Do you remember what you said the first time I recited it to you? You did not. Really? Have you forgotten already? In the poem, Genji is mourning the loss of his first love. Gazing at the clouds in the evening sky, he finds their color resembles the clothes he wears in his grief. The color of mourning, the color of ephemeral life. It really is a terribly sad poem, isn't it? But you know, I think it suits someone like me. Someone who could disappear at any moment. You know, it is said that the soul of a woman who disappears from the pleasure district roams the world forevermore in the body of a cat. That shall be me one day. I shall try. To be honest, if I could, I would never leave your side. Of course, I know that to be impossible. So, perhaps I really should become a cat. That way, I could snuggle up to the one I love. Like this. Can there be anything more painful than parting the morning after one has made love? Be sure to come back to me. Else, I might turn into a cat.
Tell me, what's on your mind? Oh, of course, as you like. Certainly. I have time for a chat. I once believed I knew who my heart belonged to, but ever since we met, you have shattered all my preconceptions. As a geisha, I sell customers a dream for an evening. With you, though, I can't bear for the dream to end. I speak true when I say I don't want to stop seeing you, even if it is forbidden. Yes, a fine idea. You came all this way to see me, after all. Talking with you like this, you're not the same person as when first I met you. Back then, you seemed so fierce, so free. But now, I know there is much more to you. I knew it. Your eyes betray you. Despite your great strength, I see the sadness dwelling there. You must have seen your share of trouble in the past. And a few wounds that have never healed I should think. You might say I have a sense for these things. You know, you're terribly kind. You came to my rescue when I was in peril, did you not? I wish I could convey the joy I felt, the sheer relief when I set eyes upon you. I can almost imagine a day when I might utterly entrust myself to your care. Oh dear, I've said rather too much, haven't I? I blame your eyes. They're so easy to get lost in. Are you busy at the moment? Let's head outside and talk at our leisure. You're a kind soul. Then, let's be off. Delightful breeze, isn't it? You don't really feel it in the pleasure district. You saw it, didn't you, the other day? The pleasure district is nothing but a gilded cage for us geisha. A gathering place for girls with nowhere else to turn. Scratch away the painted glamour, and all you find is pain. I began my work of my own volition in order to better serve Lord E. But now, these days, there are times I don't know how to feel. Is this truly what I wanted? I ask myself. I ask that a lot when I'm with you. All I want is to let the wind take me wherever it might blow. Let it take the two of us so we can leave it all behind. If only. Why don't we? It's certainly a possibility. Did you think I spoke truly? You can't take everything a geisha says at face value, you know. That's how we reel you in. Yes, it was all a mere jest. Nothing more than nonsense, I'm afraid. Perhaps it's time we went back. Tonight was all in good fun. Nothing more. Agreed? So, the issue at hand. I gather you are wondering why I betrayed Lord E. I must admit, he and I, He is a very important person to me. In fact, this hairpin is a gift from Lord E. But things are very different now. So much has changed, including my lord and me. The man I once knew is now the Red Demon. And the truth is that the role he has taken on torments him. Witnessing the recent purge opened my eyes. I now know that he must be stopped. And who else can do it but me? It is as if all these years by his side have led to this moment. I let Mrs. Fumi escape, though it may yet cost me my life. That was the right thing to do. Yes, I am sure of it. But now, I am suddenly terrified. I can't shake the feeling that something horrible is about to happen. What do you think I should do? Oh, but surely I am dreaming. Those words are sweet music to my ears. Yes, let us flee this place together. Go somewhere no one knows. And that's really what you want? I would like nothing more. Yes, we shall grow old together, you and I am afraid I cannot stop shaking. Perhaps you might help comfort me. Feeling much better now. I must apologize for letting my emotions get the better of me. Will you join the Satsuma uprising, I wonder? I know a back street, out of sight of the shogunate. I will show you. I only wish there was more I could do for you. Let me know when you're ready to go.
What is it? Good idea. Lead the way. Ask away. Are you trying to say you wish to swear a bond of kinship? My only sibling by blood has passed. I would welcome one of your merit as my kin with open arms. May we lead this country along the righteous path. Together. Good idea. I've got some time on my hands now if you're free. There was something I've been meaning to ask, actually. About the one who trained you. You've mastered the sword, no doubt. But that's not all. You've got real grit. I've never seen anything faze you in the least. You must have had an incredible master. Like we had in Master Shoin. The thing about Master Shoin is that he could see right into your heart. He would have seen your true worth from the off. We were truly blessed to have been introduced to the man. He gave us purpose, the chance to focus on our nation's future. By the way, what does your teacher do these days? I see. The shogunate. They rule by suppressing the will of the people. Truly, the shogunate has lost its way, and there is no salvaging it now. Not only do they ignore the cries of the populace, but now they bend to the barbarians knocking at our door. It beggars belief. Can't they see how their people suffer with this disease they have invited into our home? Japan must change, and no one can do it but us. We, who were born and live under the rising sun. I'm sure you've had your fair share of painful memories. But let us together put this broken land to rights. Good idea. There's no sense worrying alone, is there? Why don't you come with me? I'd like to get some air. Change up the mood a little. I've been thinking about it ever since. Were the ideals I've held up till now misplaced? I couldn't see where the true enemy lay. Perhaps I could have walked a different path. Cholera robbed me of my family. The shogunate robbed me of my master. A rage, a lust for vengeance grew within me, clouding my vision. I never realized how single-minded I'd become. I set my mind to a path and never questioned it. I envy Shinsaku sometimes. The way he does as he pleases. How freely he lives his life. And what about you? From where I stand, you live just as freely. You do? I see. And you look like you have everything under control. But the fact that you can say that yourself makes you different from me. You are strong. You know and understand your own weaknesses, and still stand tall. I should learn to do the same. I need to think about things. About how I want to live my life from now on. I'm glad you're the one with me now. I wouldn't want Shinsaku and the others to see me like this. Maybe it's time we headed back. I hope you come to speak to me again, once I've had time to work things out. Just who I wanted to speak to. Care to step out for a while? Appreciate it. Let's get going. Your time has come. Rise as one. You remember what he said, right? Master Shoin's final words. Ever since he spoke those words, I thought I'd done as he instructed. But maybe I haven't acted as he hoped. To rise as one is not a permit to rage without restraint. If I'd calmly considered his teachings, I would have seen that. You're much sharper than I. I think you knew what Master Shoin was implying from the off. You must have thought me so foolish for all my sound and fury. Don't think I'm blaming you for not telling me. I'm saying that when I look back, I see I was blind. Master Shoin's words went in one ear and out the other, it seems. In all my blind hatred, was I really any different from the Shogunate? But you've been by my side all this time. Loyal, despite my foolishness. I see things clearly now. I've made a truly righteous comrade in you. I've never been capable to accomplish anything by myself. But together, we can make the Japan of my master's dreams a reality. Let us wield our swords now, not in the name of vengeance, but for a future founded on our ideals. A future in which each and all can live the life they determine for themselves. A life lived in freedom. We'll look out upon this new Japan together. As long as you are by my side, I know it won't be just a dream. Let us go forth and witness the new Japan. Let us build upon the legacy left to us in my master's last words.
So we meet again. What is it? Good news, I hope. Well, ain't that something? How could I refuse? You already stole my heart, after all.
What about? Yes, of course. Well, what is it? Love. With me. You've been so direct, I can't help but blush. All this time, I couldn't bring myself to say it. But I love you too. I want us to be together. Forever. Good timing. I was just looking for you. There's something I wanted to tell you. I just wanted to thank you for always being so helpful. You've helped me more than you know. Well, that's all I wanted to say, really. Do you have anything you want to tell me? You're a strange one, aren't you? I suppose I should get back to work now. Looking after these patients is my duty, after all. No one else's. You know, plenty of lives have been sacrificed in the West, all in the name of medical advancement. I owe it to every one of those lives to give my duty everything I have. And when I see the way you continue to fight, I am glad you appear to feel the same way about yours. Come see me again, if you'd like. Oh, and let me know if I can ever be of help to you. I've got to return the favor, after all. Just don't go asking me to kill anybody. You've come at just the right time. I was thinking of going to buy some medicine. Will you come with me? Thank you. I could really use the help. Sorry for all the trouble. It would have been a nightmare carrying all this on my own. There's been an influx of injured people lately, on top of all our sick. It feels like we're constantly in need of... Huh? Hello, you. Wait just 1 second. I'll bring you a little snack. What now? Are you asking for more? Do you want to be petted? Here. Oh, stop it. Really. You can be absolutely impossible sometimes. I have to admit, I love little animals. They're just so tiny and adorable. Nothing unusual about that, is there? Actually, never mind. You don't have to answer that. I suppose I don't have to keep trying to act professional in front of you anymore. Maybe I can be a little bit more myself. Let's give that a try. What do you say? Oh, good. I was just in a bit of a bind. I was about to head out for some air. Care to join me? Thanks. Well, let's get going. It's about those things I said to Mr. Fukuzawa that time with the Syncona. As a doctor, I have to admit, it's been incredibly frustrating. I know that prevention is the surest way to eradicate cholera. But there are so many suffering patients who I simply can't save. If my father were here, I have no doubt he'd already have discovered a cure by now. You're right. Of course. I was just being stupid. I'm my own person. I know that. Sorry. Forget I said anything. Here I am, whining, when I should be thinking about the future. You know? Seeing you lately has made me think. I'd like to be an obstetrician one day. It's not much more than a vague idea at this point. But you fight for a promise of a brand new world. And I thought, I'd like to help bring new lives into it. So much has been sacrificed for the sake of what's to come. But there will be so much asked of us yet when it finally arrives. You and your friends will give birth to a new world, and I will help deliver the children, who shall be its champions. It's a nice thought, isn't it? Your timing always seems to be perfect. I'm in the mood to let off some steam. What do you say? Feel like having a drink with me? Then let's go. I know of a good place around here. You know, you've been getting into far too much trouble lately. You're more battered and bruised every time I see you. I wish you would be more careful. Of course. I'll do my best. But I can't save you if you're dead. All I want is for you to stay safe. Look, I'm not saying I don't want you to fight. It was your conviction and courage that made me fall for you in the first place. It's just... Do you know how it feels every time I watch you go? You're always heading for another fight. Always leaving me alone. Sure, that's what you say. But if anything happens, you'll be out of here in a flash. That's just the person you are. You'll stay here with me tonight. And just for tonight, I'm not letting you go anywhere. Don't ever let me go. And so the morning comes, whether we like it or not. Life can be cruel that way. Have a good day, then. I'll be waiting for you. Just come back to me safe.
You. I loved your free spirit. Your refusal to be tied to obligation. But this time you've gone too far. I'm tired of all this pettiness. Which is why I'm choosing to end things. It's fine. It's not like I have room for romance. There are just too many things I need to do. Don't worry. We'll still be comrades in arms. Let's just devote ourselves to our work and bring about Japan's new dawn.
What do you want? You're seeing somebody else, aren't you? I was afraid this might happen. I had heard that the warriors of this land take more than one lover. But that is no reason to have trifled with my heart. You must tell me. How will things stand between us from now on? I see. Then it is as they say. Nothing lasts forever. Your heart belongs to another, and though it pains me to hear it, I must accept your decision. You may forget our time together. Only, I beg that you never forget our pledge to protect this country together. I take my leave.
We need to speak. I thought I could trust you, and so I waited. Well, I'm done waiting. I want to break up. I wish it didn't have to be this way, but I can't risk hating you any more than I do now. From now on, we are training partners. Nothing more. Please keep that in mind when we have our next bout.
Come here a minute. I don't have the patience of a saint, you know. I can't take any more of your deceptions. My heart's in pieces already. In truth, it wasn't so bad playing your game. But it was just one of those things. Right time, right place. Let's just end things here and get back to business. We might end up fighting together one day. I trust you have my back.
I've heard nasty talk about you. You liar. What happened to ending things? Huh. I can never trust you again. I agree. All things considered, that would be best for both of us. I just have one last thing to say. All the good days we had were truly something special. Goodbye.
We need to talk. You've had your last chance. I can't stand for this anymore. I won't be held responsible for what I might do. I enjoy a good duel, but I'm not someone who kills out of spite. Let's just put an end to this relationship.
So good to see you again.